The Israel Lobby and U.S. Foreign Policy is a well-thought-of book by John J. Mearsheimer, professor of political science at the University of Chicago, and Stephen Walt, professor of international relations at Harvard Kennedy School at Harvard University. The book argues that the Israel Lobby, a powerful and well-organized group of pro-Israel organizations in the United States, has exerted a disproportionate influence on U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East. Mearsheimer and Walt contend that the lobby's influence has led to U.S. policies that are not in the best interests of the United States and that have exacerbated the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The book's central argument is that the Israel Lobby is a special interest group that has used its influence to persuade U.S. policymakers to adopt policies that are beneficial to Israel but harmful to the United States. Mearsheimer and Walt argue that the lobby's influence is based on a number of factors, including its financial resources, its media savvy, and its ability to mobilize grassroots support. The book identifies the following components of the Israel Lobby. The American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC, is the most powerful pro-Israel organization in the United States. It is a nonpartisan organization that lobbies Congress and the executive branch on a range of issues related to Israel. AIPAC has a large budget and a network of thousands of members across the country. The Jewish Federations of North America, JFNA is a network of over 140 Jewish federations and community organizations that raise and distribute funds for a variety of causes, including Israel. JFNA is a major source of funding for pro-Israel organizations in the United States. The Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations, COPAJ, is an umbrella organization that represents 38 major Jewish organizations in the United States. COPAJ works on a range of issues, including Israel. Mearsheimer and Walt argue that the Israel Lobby has a significant impact on U.S. foreign policy in the following ways. The lobby has persuaded U.S. policymakers to provide Israel with billions of dollars in military and economic aid. The lobby has persuaded U.S. policymakers to support Israel's right to build settlements in the occupied territories. The lobby has persuaded U.S. policymakers to oppose Palestinian statehood. The lobby has persuaded U.S. policymakers to support the use of military force against Israel's enemies. Mearsheimer and Walt argue that the Israel Lobby's influence on U.S. foreign policy has been harmful to the United States in the following ways. The lobby's policies have made the United States less popular in the Arab world. The lobby's policies have undermined U.S. efforts to promote democracy and human rights in the Middle East. The lobby's policies have increased the risk of war between the United States and Iran. The lobby's policies have made it more difficult to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Israel Lobby and U.S. Foreign Policy was a controversial book when it was first published in 2007. The book was praised by some for its willingness to challenge the conventional wisdom on the Israel Lobby, but it was also criticized by others for being anti-Semitic. The calling out of Israel's policy and the related organizations was now thrown in as an anti-Semitic trope, so as to quiet the discussion of these policies. Alan Dershowitz called Mearsheimer and Walt an anti-Semite, trying to smear him and silence him. We have seen that tactic over and over by pro-Israel voices, denigrating the real cases of anti-Semitism. Despite these criticisms, The Israel Lobby in U.S. Foreign Policy is an important and influential book. It has helped to raise awareness of the role of the Israel Lobby in U.S. foreign policy, and it has sparked a debate about the influence of special interests in American politics.